Excellent work, Commander. Just as we hoped, your victory set an example for the rest of our forces. Now we've got strike teams all over the board taking down those damn towers.
Actually, we just got word. There's only one tower still left standing. Right here in the middle of the Med, or what used to be the Med. And get this, the only reason why that one tower is standing is because of Nod. They've got an unusually large force there, and for reasons we can't explain, they seem to be trying to protect the tower.
God only knows what they're up to, but that's not your problem, Commander. There's more work to be done in Italy.
The invaders have some kind of control node here. Now, probably not a coincidence, this is Ground Zero, the first spot Tiberium appeared on Earth. According to Dr. Ibrahim, this node regulates the flow of Tiberium radiation to all their units. And without Tiberium, the units will stop functioning. Stop the units, stop the invasion.
Commander, there's something you need to know. General Granger is withholding vital intelligence from you, intelligence that could save your life. Under my guidance, GDI Weapons Tech used the materials we confiscated from Nod to build our own liquid Tiberium bomb, which I've taken the liberty of arming your troops with. Now, Granger, he'd rather have you try and gut out a victory against impossible odds. Why? Because I'm a political threat to him. If my plan wins this war, he's irrelevant. At least that's how the media will see him. But they'll see you as a hero if you end this war quickly. This isn't about me or Granger, Commander. This is about you. This is your time. Make your mark on history.
Base sighted. Building. Incoming transmission. The control node commands the entire alien force. Intel has determined its destruction would stop the alien invaders. The Nod forces in the area present a threat to our mission. Eliminate their base to the north.
Armor superiority.
Welcome back, Commander.
Well, let's do this.
So, we have an interesting option to us.
Sighted. Warning. Rift generator
there.
detected. New bonus objective. Unknown entity detected. Building. Construction complete.
One that seems to be focused around
Construction
peace
options.
through power. Egregious or otherwise.
Construction complete. Unit
what do you got?
under attack.
Now, the start of this mission is, as one might expect for a later in the campaign thing, a lot of build-up. Thankfully, on the GDI side of the campaign, you have a lot of money to work with. There's a lot of Tiberium patches around, so you're not hurting too much, especially since you're given a lot of starting cash to begin with. And you're going to need all that cash, or at least I certainly did. You see, there's nothing like having, $15,000, $20,000 than building your own force of mammoths to just kind of stampede somewhere. Sadly, I wanted to keep the alien superweapon, but it just wasn't viable.
Enemy units.
There's something to be said about maybe the fact that I put a power plant next to it had triggered some sort of response. Regardless of what the ultimate reason is, I wasn't able to keep it.
Construction complete.
Thankfully, I get to build my own ion cannon, so I've got something going for me.
Harvester under attack.
I do have one basic plan for me, and that is to capture that base, the spring base anyways, right next to me.
An alien mothership is en route to destroy our base. Divert the mothership to Nod's base by taking out the disruption towers that are hiding it.
Armor superiority.
So you might have seen last time when I said that the
What do you have?
weird cutscenes like that where nothing moves and it just black and white almost, where that stuff's very desaturated. Yeah, I guess it happens for optional objectives, but then why would it play it? I don't know.
Insufficient funds.
Regardless, the mothership is easy to direct over to the Nod base. However, either they didn't realize that patches would do something about it, or Nod forces are just that strong, but the mothership does nothing. It's kind of strange because this would be the second time that we've encountered the mothership. Both times are specifically with GDI, and in neither occasion do we actually see the mothership do anything. Is it an oversight? Is it just that they didn't think about its like ability to interact with other factions? I don't know. There seems to just have been a lack of oversight when it comes to that. Now, I have a lot of mana tanks, and that's great, but much like other missions, once you get late in the campaign, you really need to start getting some Firehawks. There's just too many air units that can ruin your day to leave them just like sitting around and be unbothered. Unfortunately, that along with getting mammoth tanks and having to receive superpowers and whatever just means that you're kind of delaying your build-up and having to rebuild over and over and over again. I'm not necessarily complaining about that part of it, because building your base is essential and you have to have something to kind of balance things out. But on the longer missions, it's kind of... I think I touched a bit on it in the Nod campaign, where there needs to just...
Commander, I just found out about Boyle's plan. Can't say I'm surprised. But as bad as things seem to be on the battlefield, I need you to resist using that liquid Tiberium bomb. It may end the war quickly, but a blast that size in the world's largest red zone, the chain reaction could be cataclysmic. And here's the other thing. You use that bomb, and we're setting in motion a very dangerous precedent. We'll become dependent on Tiberium weapons, on Tiberium itself. And that's not who we are. That's not GDI. We fight with honor and courage. We fight to rid the world of Tiberium.
Let me tell you who we are. We are the ones the public has entrusted to protect them. We have a responsibility to uphold that trust. Yes, there are risks. Yes, there will be casualties, but this is war against an enemy unlike any mankind has ever seen. If you don't do everything in your power, if you don't use every asset available to end this war right now, then you are failing every man, woman, and child on this planet. Do the right thing, Commander. That's all I can ask. Just do the right thing.
Liquid Tiberium bomb available.
Unrivaled.
And again, we find ourselves with a map that's large, but you don't get to see a lot of the interactions between the other factions you aren't part of.
Target. Liquid Tiberium bomb launched.
Speaking of factions that aren't part of this game anymore,
Objective complete.
Mammoth tank ready.
there is something that I found online that mentions if you target in the middle of the map, you can do a significant amount of damage to the Skrin base as well. I don't find that to be true. I could be wrong. When I see an icon on the ground, I just assume that's its limits. There's also another issue, which is that the control node does or sometimes has a shield on it, which actually prevents it from dying
Select target.
to the Tiberium fuel bomb, or liquid Tiberium bomb, whatever. And yeah, that's kind of just crap. I don't know. It's not all that great, and it just kind of belabors the point. Like, you have this mega super weapon, and it's supposed to wipe out a continent or whatever, and we're still fine. It's not an auto win, which, frankly, I would have imagined that to be more interesting story-wise, but here we still are.
Move it up.
And with all that said, I think it's deserving of some commentary that Redmond Boyle, who, has kind of had a bid part so far, we've done far more to interact with Ranger than we have with Boyle, and all of a sudden he's in Reykjavik and has like one light bulb. Like, I get it can be a underground bunker or something, but
Construction options.
really?
Unit under attack. Harvester under attack.
Leader of the free world is supposed to be hiding in an underground bunker on the other side of the planet with one guard right behind him? It seems very
Our base is under attack.
Brotherhood inspired. Then again, we did use a weapon of mass destruction to effectively bring Nod forces closer to Tiberium, which they want anyways, so the win-win.
I can figure it out. Prepping control codes.
It might seem a little strange for me to go after these alien platforms, but honestly, there's two main benefits for this. The first is the fact that, one, I get extra extra technology. Two, that it's the Tiberium growth accelerator that we really want.
Cannot deploy here.
The fact that those can only be built after you have a refinery, an alien refinery, and on top of that, they can only be built
Ready the loaders.
with a pretty sizable investment.
Insufficient funds.
Approaching Tiberium.
Once you start getting growth accelerators, it's
Building captured.
really nice, and you don't really have to worry about how many
Construction complete.
refineries or harvesters you have. Obviously, there's always a limit, but it drastically raises that limit.
Deploy here.
And since we have 5 Tiberium fields near us, having 5 growth accelerators is just really something you should strive for. The other thing that it helps us do is build defensive structures.
Your weapon ready.
I don't ever really see a point in building another mobile construction vehicle, having that go somewhere, deploy it, and then have to figure out all the defensive shenanigans with it. Especially considering that once you build it, it's a static structure. You can't go around. You can't really save it when you need it. And so the alien platforms is just better because you can move them. They're able to be undeployed and fly somewhere, which is just easier than the regular pack-up of construction unit, I find. So, because we have multiple, I can just flood an area with anti-air defenses. Unbeknownst to me, the anti-air defenses aren't really needed or necessary because the 2 carriers we keep seeing flow down the left side of the map, yeah, they're just there as part of like a story, as part of a script. They will attack, as we've seen, but they don't actually do anything. They'll just fly off the map and you don't have to worry about it. It's a shame that that exists because you're kind of limiting like a third of the map, a quarter of the map, with 2 infinitely producing carriers, which is a pain to have to deal with.
Mammoth tank. Close in.
On hold. Cancelled.
And this is the point where I realize that I'm on the high ground.
Mammoth tank ready.
I have an amazing number of mammoth tanks I will never really have to worry about. I'm taking out the super weapon, and I have more money, or hopefully we'll be able to growth accelerate enough money that I won't really have to worry about anything for quite some time.
Detected.
And so, with that, I might as well build juggernauts, put them on the upper cliff area, and then shell the node.
Unit under attack. Building. Unit
Juggernaut
promoted.
standing by.
I will say it's nice that the alien tech is available to you, and that the forward deployment zone that they send that automatically spawns like 3 defensive structures, none of them are focused on anti-ground. Like, they do a little bit of anti-ground. If I remember correctly, there's like 1 turret, maybe 2 that do that. But for the most part, it's just AA towers, so it's like a free capture. Also, I kind of got caught out where I was messing around with my mammoths and clearing out a zone, and it turned out that, well, I don't really need all that much anymore.
Our base is under attack.
I've gotten enough juggernauts in the area, and I can just play it safe.
Harvester under attack. Harvester lost. Unit under attack. Establishing visual up.
It's working, Commander. The invaders, they've stopped. They're defenseless. It's over. We've won, Commander. We've won.
The war against the invaders ended today, but at a staggering cost. A liquid Tiberium bomb detonated by GDI in the Mediterranean Red Zone set off a chain reaction, sending shockwaves thousands of miles in every direction. So far, the death toll is over 25 million people, GDI and NOD. And scientists are predicting even more tragic fallout in the weeks and months to come.
Well, the aliens are gone. All the towers are down except that one in the Med. Combination of 2 enemies working against us was just too much. By the time we fought our way to the tower, the damn thing was impregnable. Good news is I've been assured it's completely inert, completely harmless. It looks like we may never know what it was built for. Now, as for you, Commander, you're a disgrace to that uniform. Tens of millions dead and your entire force killed in action. I'd court-martial you myself if I could. Unfortunately, your friend Boyle's convinced the media you're a hero, so I can't touch you. You still have to live with yourself. Good luck with that.
What did I tell you, Commander? History is written by the winners.
1 minute to the press conference, Director.
So I'm sure you've heard Granger has resigned to spend more time with his family. That means my first order of business at this press conference is to put you in charge of the military. Stick with me, Commander, and we'll lead GDI to a brave new future.